Hey friends, Lucian here with the Bullish Bears team. This video is going to be about how to spot and trade blow-off tops. So if you're not familiar with what a blow-off top pattern is, kind of picture a volcano. So a volcano kind of has those steep inclines. So it's got a steep incline and then a very steep decline. And kind of a, not really a sharp, but kind of a sharp or a little bit leveled off top, right? And then so price kind of moves up. So picture with a stock, price moves up quickly and then down quickly. So I'm going to show you, you'll see this happen in pretty much, any sector in stock, but a lot of times, or you'll see it very common in sectors that are pumped up a lot, or very volatile sectors such as, let's say, Bitcoin and pot stocks. Typically, there is a lot of volume on both sides, right? So a lot of volume pushing the price or the sector up, and then a lot of it going down, and it happens pretty quickly. So you'll see right here, just kind of showing you Bitcoin to start. You'll see, kind of look at this pattern right here, kind of sharp move up, sharp move up, sharp move down. You'll see this one has kind of a pointed peak and it happened really quickly, but then you'll see it happen over here, kind of moves up again, a little bit leveled, kind of a top, and then boom, right back down. So you'll see, as kind of I just show you here with the volume at the bottom, you see lots of the volume kind of up here. So you'll see kind of peak levels, whereas like kind of the regular trading volumes down here, kind of big volume on the way up, and then you'll see many times bigger volume on the way down. So be aware of those bars. But you'll see kind of like pushing up and then harsh right down right here. It's like a volcano. Same thing like this up here. You have a little bit more of a leveled top, but you'll see kind of right up here as it's kind of went. This happens quick, right? So kind of moves up, gives you a warning here, and then boom, right back down. So it's not always going to be perfect or exactly with the volume, but it's being aware of the patterns, right? And so when you look at this and how it comes together, it's learning the candlesticks and patterns, being aware of reversals, but being, keeping an eye on the price action, what's happening, and mapping out those support and resistance levels. So you can see, first of all, with this one right here, this first move up, you could have used almost this either this blue line, which is the 9 EMA, as a guide. So when price starts to fail it, you can watch for the reversal down, or you can see how price gets really overextended past that line right here. So stocks are like rubber bands. When they get pumped up, they naturally want to gravitate back down, right, to those support and resistance levels. So if it gets up and it gets far away, it's going to want to snap back down. And many times, especially with these heavily pumped sectors, they snap back down really hard. So, with this one right here, if you were to have traded it, this actually gave you kind of a clear warning up here, right? So it really got up. Then you had this kind of like spinning top reversal candle. So if you were to trade this one, this would have been a short as price went up, taking a short position as price failed this candlestick right down over in here with a candlestick close above as your stop, right? So that's just kind of like how a doji or a reversal or kind of spinning top would work. So that's kind of the first one as it kind of went up. You can use this, pull up whatever kind of stock that you're looking at. You can change the time frames, whatever your trading style is. But this had a nice kind of run up, and you'll see it kind of hit that angular support level right up over in here. So you kind of start to see when you connect these levels, kind of right here, it's like angular. I'm sorry, I don't know what I just said, but I meant to say angular resistance. So price is kind of hitting this angular resistance. And you can kind of see right here, it's one of those like rising wedge patterns. So you can see that as it's hitting resistance, it's starting to fail up here. So there's several ways you can look at this. You can draw your patterns. You can just keep an eye on how price is away or how far it is from those moving average lines, seeing how overextended it is. And it kind of gives you those warnings, right? So that's why it's important to learn these patterns. So that's kind of how it goes up like this, comes back down, and then you'll see it kind of had another run up, right? But if you just clear these drawings here, and you just drew a line at this peak over in here, extended out to the future, this other run up, it wasn't surprising that it just tanked after this, because you can see kind of that top, right, the blow off top, or that kind of like small little consolidation moved up, price couldn't hold above this previous high, what did it do? It hit resistance and then it failed and dropped back down, right? So that's why it's not hard to, once you learn these patterns, you can be aware of them and being aware of where it happens and what the different sectors are. Now let's take a look at CGC, very popular in the past or just in general, very well, pumped, popular, whatever you want to call it, pot stock, Canadian pot stock. And you'll see right here, it's just, they're notorious when you start to see this move up, right? Kind of sharp move up, sharp move down. And then when you see the volume here, see these, how it's kind of this smaller kind of volume, and then it builds, and then you get these bigger volume bars all right in here. And so it had this kind of this move up, kind of a, a little bit of a top that formed, boom, right back down. It's buying volume up, sharp volume back down. And then again, what you can just do is just kind of mark out these peak levels here, because whatever happens currently or in the past, it affects the future, right? So why do I show you that? Is because when you go to the future, look at this one right over here. This was kind of a sharper one, a sharp decline, right? Not as rounded, I guess you can say, up here, but you can see right over in here what happened. Kind of prices kind of, here was the volume down here. You started to get a little bit of some volume, bigger volume bars coming in, pushing price back up. And then you can see right over here, that big selling volume candle. What happened? Price got kind of pumped up here, back to previous high. This high right, or this price right here couldn't break these previous highs. And you can call this triple top, head and shoulders, double top, whatever you want to call it. Price hit resistance and then fell really hard. So when you're looking at this stuff, when you're trading these sectors, you can put these lines out here and then look where current price is. And when price starts moving up, I didn't mark all these lines out here, but as price starts going up to these other levels that have happened in the past, if price, let's say with, this pot stock here gets pumped up again, it's very key. Is it going to break these previous high levels? If not, then you have, kind of as you draw these out, just these different levels of support and resistance. These peaks, connect as many peaks and valleys as possible that you see that are relevant on the charts. So you'll see as it kind of goes up right here, these are previous levels. If price goes and breaks up and goes up to these levels again, then, this is resistance now, but then those areas would become support in the future. So it's always about buy low, sell high. So these blow off tops, they're not surprising to see. You might not know when they're going to happen, the exact moment, but when you're well aware of these patterns, you can kind of see again as price gets above. Look at how far price was like away from this 9 EMA, that moving average line, pumped up, nasty looking reversal candle near previous resistance. Price is getting up, it's away from that moving average line. It naturally wants to gravitate back down. We don't know this is going to happen until it happens, but being aware of volatile sectors that are pumped, again, Bitcoin, pot stocks, a lot of times biotech stocks, or if something comes out with, a drug or something like that, it gets a quick pump up. Biotech sector is notorious for a quick pump up, dumping down as well, right? So you'll sometimes see it with like major stocks, but typically that'll be a news catalyst or something like that. But with the sectors that are pumped a lot, that's where it becomes really notorious.